26 days transforming a Volkswagen Golf into a classic Porsche 911. Here, I'm positioning the steering wheel. Just positioning it for now. Nothing's fixed or attached yet. This is just a rough setup for the time being. I'm going to use some contemporary parts. Many of you might know Luke or Single. This is exactly their style of casting. But this one is genuine, it's authentic, but made with a modern touch. 26 days transforming a Volkswagen Golf into a classic Porsche 911. So over these 26 days, let me show you what we've been working on today. Today, we're positioning the steering wheel. Just positioning it for now. Nothing's fixed or attached yet. This is just a rough setup for the time being. Now, let's take a look inside. Inside, we've already installed the frame since yesterday, and there are side frames as well. Here it is. Side frames and the main frame, and right now we're working on the mounting point for the steering wheel. As for the steering column, we're using one from a Zafiro A31, right? It's from the Zafiro A31 right here. We happen to have some A31 spare parts, so we decided to use them. Another thing is, if customers ever have issues or want to repair it, the parts are easy to find since A31 parts are widely available and not expensive. Alright, let me show you what we've been working on today. So, on the 26th, the work we did wasn't just about... Let me show you what we did on the 26th. Let's take a look at what we accomplished today. Come on, let's go check it out together. So for today's work, on the 26th, today we installed the steering wheel mount and also the pillar mount. Here, you can see the pillar mount and the steering wheel mount. For these, we used parts from the serviceable A3. As for the interior, I'm not sure yet whether we'll use the original parts or go with something more contemporary. Many of you might be familiar with the look or with Singer. I should mention first that when people bring their cars in, they often look at the style, see how others have done it. For example, some have a Porsche body, maybe a classic body just like this. The body is classic like this, but it's actually genuine. It's authentic, but they've made it contemporary. Do you know what contemporary means? On the outside, they use this kind of classic body trim, but the lights are changed to LED. Or in some cases, the interior is modernized with a digital display and electric seat. So, with brands like Aruaf and Singer, I encourage people to check them out to see what contemporary really means. They completely redo the upholstery and everything else to make it modern, but the body's unique classic character remains. You can look at Singer or even RUF for reference. I think this car will be done in that style, but I'm not sure if the owner wants to go that route. We'll have to ask the owner whether they want to keep the original console or make it contemporary like RUF or Singer. Some people might be confused about why this is done. As for the steering wheel, even though it's a right-hand drive, the customer requested that the steering wheel be on the same side as in our country, so it's easier and more convenient to drive. If it were left-hand drive, they might not be comfortable with it, so we arranged it according to the customer's request. That's all for today's work. Please like, share, and hit the notification bell to support me in making more clips. And don't forget to follow the KR Thailand channel as well. I accept product reviews and promotions. If you want me to review or promote anything, just let me know at 0823223589. For more clips, check out the Kin Racing page or TikTok at KinRacing999. Please also support my products on TikTok. There are many options to choose from in the shopping cart. And a big thank you to our main sponsor. Let me do a quick ad first. This cleaning solution here, if the stain is tough, just watch. Hold on a second. Just spray it right on. There you go. Spray it thoroughly on the tough spots. Now just let it sit for a moment. Alright, however much gets on your mouth, just play along. Now let me wipe it and show you. You get a free cloth included in the box. It comes right off. There you go. Look, it's like new again.
Here.
See, it comes right off. It coats the plastic, and here, let me show you. Only $179 baht with cash on delivery available. Here it is. It restores plastic, even the faded kind. If you have dull faded plastic, just spray it on. Look at that, shiny and like new again. I'm telling you, why not give it a try? It doesn't get your hands dirty, just spray it right on. Do you clearly see what I mean by this? Simply put, if your vehicle's plastic components have significantly faded over time, this remarkable product will effectively bring them completely back to life, just like they were brand new. Please take a good look at this incredible transformation. Just spray it right onto the car tires. It doesn't get your hands dirty, see? To put it simply, if your hands do get dirty, just look. See, only half of it, you can tell the difference. Looks brand new, right? Thank you so much.